basic rares. Just because they're basic rare doesn't mean they're not good. We have Approach the Sun. When you play this card, if it's the first time you play it, gain 7 life and put this under the 7th card of your deck. If it's the second time you've played it this game, then you win. It's a 7-cost sorcery. So, pretty powerful and usable in just about any deck that uses white. And I got 3 of those. Archfiend of Ifnir. It's a 5-drop demon. It's a 5/4 flyer. Whenever you cycle or discard a card, put a -1/-1 counter on each creature my opponent controls. And you can cycle this card to draw a card. And I have both one for ordering a box and from a store. That's the pretty art one. And the one from a booster pack. Bounty of Lexa. It's a 4-drop blue-green enchantment. At the beginning of your pre-combat main phase, remove all flood counters from this card. If no counters were removed this way, put a flood counter on it and draw a card. Otherwise, add 1 colorless, 1 green, and 1 blue to your mana pool. I received 2 of those. Aven Mind Sensor. It's a bird wizard, 3-drop white creature. Flash, flying, it's a 2/1. If an opponent would search their deck, instead they search the top 4 cards. Canyon Slough, or Slow. I think Slough sounds better. It's a non-basic Swamp Mountain. They come into play tapped, they cycle, and they produce black-red. Champion of Ranos. I acquired 2 of these. I will definitely use at least one in my EDH Exert deck. It is a Jackal Warrior, 4-drop green creature. It's a 3/3. You may exert it to put a creature card from your hand on the field under your control. So play this, attack with this, exert it, and you get another big creature. If you play with something, with haste, then you can do a nice little combo there. Channeler Initiate. It's a 2-drop human druid creature. 3/4. When it enters the battlefield, put 3 -1/1 counters on target creature you control. You can tap, remove a 1/1 counter from this card to add mana to your mana pool of any color. Curator of Mysteries. 4-drop Sphinx creature. It's a 4/4 flyer. Whenever you cycle or discard card, you can scry 1. Scry is look at the top card of your deck, or top number of cards of your deck, in this case 1, and you can either put back on top of your deck or at the bottom of your deck, and it has cycling 1. Cut to ribbons. Cut, and then 2 ribbons. Sorcery, 4 damage to target creature for 2 mana. And the aftermath is ribbons. X to black. Each opponent loses X life. You can only activate it from the graveyard. Drake Haven. I got 2 of these. Whenever you cycle, it's enchantment, 3-drop. Whenever you cycle or discard a card, you may pay 1. If you do, create a 2/2 blue Drake creature with flying. Dread Wanderer. It is a zombie jackal, 1-drop creature. It's a 2/1. Comes in play tapped. You can pay 3 to return this card from your graveyard to the battlefield. You can only activate that anytime you could activate a sorcery, and only when you have 1 or fewer cards in your hand. Dusk to Dawn. Dusk. Destroy all creatures power of 3 or greater. Dawn. Aftermath is return all creature cards with power 2 or less from your graveyard to your hand. Failure to launch. Failure. Return target spell to its owner's hand. Failure. Failure to launch. Failure to comply. I'm sorry. Comply. Choose a card name. Until your next turn, your opponent cannot activate spells with the chosen name. I got 3 of those. Fetid Pools. It's a non-basic island swamp. Cycling 2. And comes in play tapped. I got 2 of those. Gideon's Intervention. I had 2 of these. They're 4-drop enchantments. When it enters the battlefield, choose a card name. Your opponent can't cast cards with that spell. They can't cast cards with that name. Prevent all damage that would be dealt to you or permanents you control by sources with that name. Glyph Keeper. It's a Sphinx, 5-drop creature. It's a 5/3 flyer. When it becomes target of a spell or ability for the first time each turn, counter it. It also has Embalm 7, meaning you can exile this from your graveyard to create a copy of this card. But it's also a white zombie in addition to its other colors and types. Oh, no. It's a white zombie, not in addition. Sorry. Glory-Bound Initiate, another card I mentioned at the time of pull that would be good in my Exert deck. It's a 2-drop human warrior creature. It's a 3/1. You can exert it to give it +1/+3 and lifelink. So for 2, you get 4/4 lifelinker. Glorybringer, another highlight of the set. It's a 5-drop dragon creature, 4/4 flying haste. You can exert it as it attacks to deal 4 damage to target non-dragon creature opponent controls. Hapatra, Vizier of Poisons. It's a green-black human cleric legendary creature, 2/2. When it deals combat damage to a player, put a -1 counter on target creature. Whenever one or more -1 counters on a creature, whenever you put one or more -1/1 counters on a creature, put a 1/1 green snake creature with Death Touch in play. Harsh Mentor. 2-drop human cleric creature. It's a 2/2. Whenever an opponent activates an artifact, creature, or land on the battlefield, if it isn't a mana ability, it deals 2 damage to that player. I acquired 2 of these. Doubling Season. For 3 mana, you can you can search your deck for up to X lands, X being the number of tapped creatures you currently control, and put those lands into play tapped. Basic lands. Hazoret's Favor. It's a 3-drop enchantment. At the beginning of your combat, on your turn, you may have target creature get +2/+0 in haste, but you have to sacrifice it at the end of the turn. Heartpiercer Manticore. It's a 4-drop Manticore creature, 4/3. When this enters the battlefield, you can sacrifice another creature. If you do, it deals damage equal to that creature's power to target creature or player. And Embalm 6. Heaven to Earth. Heaven, X green, deal X damage to each creature with flying. Earth is 1X, 2 red, to deal X damage to each creature without flying. Insult to Injury. Insult, damage can't be prevented. If a source you control deals damage, it deals twice that damage instead. Aftermath, deal 2 damage to target creature and 2 damage to target player. Mouth to Feed. Create a 2/2 green hippo creature token for 3 sorcery. And Aftermath, Feed, 4-drop. Draw a card for each creature you control with power 3 or greater. Nehab the Worthy. Now, keep in mind, I did have a foil of this card, but as I mentioned before, it was traded to acquire that with a few other things were traded to acquire one of these from my friends. Small price to pay, really. It's a legendary creature, Minotaur Warrior, 2/2, 3-drop, black, red, first strike. Other Minotaurs you have first strike. And as long as you control one or fewer cards, Minotaurs you control get +2/+0. Whenever this deals damage to a player, each player discards a card. Oracle's Vault. It's a 4-drop artifact. You can pay 2, tap, exile top card of your deck, put a brick on here. If you have 3 or more bricks, you can tap this card, the exile top card of your deck, and you can play that card for free. And I acquired 2 of those. Prepare to Fight. I acquired 3 of these. Prepare, 2-drop instant, untap target creature, gets +2/+2 in lifelink. Fight, 3-drop, sorcery. Aftermath, target creature you control fights target creature opponent controls.